September is now come and gone, and the fall market of Toronto real estate is now in full swing. How are prices adjusting? What's going on with trends and new listings? What's going to happen for the future of Toronto real estate? All that and more in Toronto real estate by the numbers. If you don't already know, my name is Gabriele Battista from Homes into Reality, bringing you Toronto real estate first-time buyer content every single week, talking about becoming a first-time buyer, a future homeowner in the city of Toronto, and helping people accomplish their real estate goals. So if you have any questions about doing exactly that, you can reach out to me in the description. You have my phone number, my email, and a link to book a call with me below, and I'm happy to set up a time to talk about your goals in Toronto real estate. Awesome, into the content. We're going to be going over to start the median price point of different type of properties. And if you don't already know, we go over the median price point of these properties for the reason being a first-time buyer, we want to look at the middle or starting price of most of these properties. We don't want to get skewed by these luxury properties that are $2 million, $10 million, $15 million, which pulls up an average. So the median price point is the most valuable for a first-time buyer. So now let's get into those median price points for those different property types. Getting into your detached homes, you're looking at 1.37 million. For your semi-detached homes, you're looking at 1.2 million. For your freehold townhouses, you're looking at $1,108,000. For your condo townhouses, we're looking at $832,000. And for your condo apartments, you're looking at $650,000. Now, those are the numbers, but what do they really mean? Especially when we're looking at just one random number for a median price point. It doesn't mean much to us because obviously prices go up, prices go down. How does that compare month over month or year over year? We're going to break into those numbers right now. Starting with your year over year numbers. So that's September of last year in 2022 to September of this year in 2023. For your detached homes, we're up 6.2%. For your semis, you're up 14.34%. It's a pretty big number. For freehold townhouses, we're up 10.8%, another really big number. For condo townhouses, we're up 6.73%. And for your condo apartments, we're down 2.4%. I looked into these numbers a little bit deeper because I saw the 14% and the 10%. I'm like, wow, that's a big jump year over year. And I looked in 2022's numbers. That was the beginning. August, September was the beginning of really that bottom price point for the rest of the year. So from September all the way to December was kind of the lowest the prices went in 2022. So when you compare now year over year, where prices maybe have not bottomed or are a little bit higher up, there are some big increases when we look at year over year. What's helpful to look at is your month over month number. So this is the most up-to-date number that we're going to look at, how prices are doing on a month-to-month basis from August of 2023 to September of 2023 as well. For detached homes, we're up 3.79%. For semi-detached homes, we're up 7.38%. For freehold towns, we're down 1.07%. For condo towns, we're up slightly at 0.30%. And for condo apartments, we stay the same at $650,000 for both months. And when we dive deep into the month over month numbers, this is the one that's probably the most baffling to me. It is a little bit confusing because prices are relatively up. Like other than the condos being flat and freehold towns being slightly down, everything is up month over month. And I looked in the graphs again. I'll pop up a couple examples here. We are up on a month-to-month basis. And for me, this is very confusing because it really doesn't make much sense. If we look at what, the future new listings, active listings, and solds, spoiler alert, they're very slow on the sales, on the solds end, and the new listings are kind of jumping up. So why they're up, I'm not too sure. I think it's possible it's an anomaly that prices went up this time this year. I know in past years, in September, prices tend to go up a little bit, but we're not seeing the same level of competition in solds. So I am definitely a bit confused on why that is and prices are going up, but only time I guess will tell. And it's important, again, we don't look at trends on a month-to-month basis with, we take it with a grain of salt. We like to look at trends on an overall, over 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year. That's the type of stuff we like to look at. Usually I use these next few stats to kind of justify why prices are doing what they're doing. I will say it definitely doesn't feel like it in this month particularly, but we're going to go through it anyway. For your new listings in September of 2023, we're looking at 6,517. And if you want to compare how it looks like towards 2022, we're up 45.1%. Last year in September, we had 4,493 new listings. So that's a big bump. And a lot of it comes after the Labor Day long weekend, where everyone puts their property on the market after the 3-day long weekend. People start shopping again. So there was a really big spike in new listings. And now if we compare what happens on a year-to-year basis with new listings, you'll see the yellow line over here in this graph being 2023. We shot up. And like I mentioned before, Labor Day had a lot to do with it. we had a ton of new listings hitting the market in September, more than usual, more than 2021 and much more than 2022. So you would think with more new listings, it's something where the supply is more than demand. Well, that's why prices make not too much sense there, but new listings really shot up in the month of September. So people were holding on to their properties, waiting for that long weekend to put the properties on the market. Now getting into the active listings. So the active listings are the property that are currently on the market. They could have hit the market in January, February, March, doesn't matter when they hit the market, but they're currently on the market as of September of 2023. Active listings are at 7,581 active listings. That's up 38.2% from this time last year. And if we go right to the graph and see how that trends from years past, we're the highest active inventory we've been over the past at least 3 years. You'll see that the yellow line again for 2023. Once we get to from August, relatively it's still high on the high end. It spikes up. That whole new bunch of listings coming onto the market really help active inventory stay high, where there's the most selection in the real estate market than there's been in the past 3 years. And I imagine even further back than that. So this is giving a lot of choice to people, a lot of options for people, especially when you break down what type of listings are coming onto the market right now. If we look at all the new listings, so for example, in September, there are 6,517 new listings coming onto market. I compared that with what type of those new listings are, and you'll see the graphic pulled up ahead. And it seems to be pretty one-sided, maybe two-sided, with the most of those new listings being condo apartments, with exactly 3,476 of them. That's over 50% of these new listings coming onto market in September were condo apartments. That alone kind of justifies why, if you look at the overall sales changes, the actual condo prices have stayed relatively flat overall on a month-to-month basis, and they've actually gone down year over year, versus on the freehold side, prices went up month over month. And I still don't really know why they went up month over month, but if you compare the two, the fact that so many of these things have been new condo listings versus detached listings, there's definitely a more influx of supply right now of condos on the market versus houses on the market right now. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I'm going to talk about some of my thoughts about what's going on in the market and what to expect for the future. And then what I'm also seeing in the market, boots on the ground as well. So stay tuned for that. We're going to move on to your sold data. So your sold activity, the properties that actually are selling, because that's the most important thing. And the good thing to note is we've been pretty much in lockstep with 2022's numbers for the past 3 months. In September of 2023, which is this month's data, we've had a total of 1,744 units sell on the Toronto real estate market, versus in 2022 was the exact same number, was 1,744 properties that sold this time last year. So we're essentially in lockstep, and we'll put up the graph as well. We've been in lockstep for the past 3 months. We've essentially had the same volume, and honestly, I don't see the volume changing unless things really change on the affordability standpoint. These volumes are probably going to stay low for the rest of the year. So let's think about it. New listings, active listings are up, much up, very high up, and your sold listings are in lockstep of last year, and they're down. So with these two things considered together, what's really going on with prices? What am I seeing on the ground when I'm working in the market right now? It's exactly the opposite of what's actually in the stats. I'm finding that on the list side, condos have to be extremely competitive to be selling right now. Even if you're the best price in a complex, it's no guarantee that you're going to sell in your building. Buyers are only really jumping at opportunities that feel, much better than they were, this time last year. It feels like I would have guessed prices would have gone down. Especially when I'm working on the buy side, we're really not putting in offers that are not aggressive. They're not in favorable for the buyer. So for prices to show that they're flat, even on the condo end, is a little bit odd. And especially because after that Labor Day long weekend, there was a complex that I'm tracking right now where there was maybe 2 or 3 listings currently available in there. And after that weekend, there was probably 7 listings available in that building. So it feels a little bit odd because it feels like I see the new inventory. I definitely see the new inventory hitting the market. I'm just not seeing the prices just yet. And maybe it's because there's so few sales in the building and they're not selling because they're not priced properly. That may be why prices haven't come down just yet. And as people will start to lower their prices and buyers are more interested in those listings, we could probably see prices come down. But there's something in the water where prices went up on the detached end or on the freehold end. It's really my best guess that this may be an anomaly of a month. And the reason why I say that is not because I'm doubtful that prices can go up again. We don't know. We saw the beginning of this year be exactly the opposite of what I thought was going to happen. So it definitely, I'm open to being proven wrong there, but just looking at the economics of so many properties on the market and the fact that sales are so low, unless sales really come up a big margin, I don't see prices really going up. Either they maybe stay flat where they are because sellers are stubborn and they don't want to sell for what they think is less than market value, and they have their for sure right to do so. But I definitely expect, especially in the condo end, a lot of condo buyers who are investor focused, and that's what I'm seeing right now on the market. Condos that have landlords who were losing $2,000 a month in cash flow, and they just want to sell their condos because they don't look at it as an investment anymore. They may have to lower the price to get rid of them. And if the motivation's there and they start reducing prices to get to the price that buyers are looking for, we're going to see some condo prices come down, definitely for sure. But right now, with the amount of condos coming on the market versus the amount of them are selling, it feels like this month feels like an anomaly, and prices must come down a little bit, at least going into the fall and winter months. But obviously, that's why we're in this channel. We track it on a monthly basis for a reason. If you want to see what's going on in the Toronto real estate market every single month, you're going to tune into this channel next week as well. Once again, that's my rambling thoughts about the Toronto real estate market and what I'm seeing on the boots on the ground. If you wanted to dig in further on what I'm seeing and what I think about the Toronto real estate market, or you're interested in becoming a future homeowner, feel free to reach out. In my description, you have my phone number, my email, and a link to book a call with me. In the description, you're happy to do so. I help first-time buyers all year round, getting to their first homes, getting young people into home ownership is what I truly am passionate about. I also host a first-time buyer webinar every single month, the last Thursday of every single month. That's coming up in a few weeks. So if you're interested in a first-time buyer webinar that I put on, email me, send me a text. I'm happy to send you an invite to our free webinar that we do every month. That's all for me. My name is Gabriele Battista, Homes into Reality. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.